One of the critical issues, Muchimba, in advancing political and economic governance in Zambia is lack of access to information legislation. JCTR holds chairmanship of the ATI coalition, which is the Access to Information Coalition. What role are you playing to ensure that access to information legislation is enacted in Zambia?
That is really an interesting concept that you bring on board, Annette. JCTR is actually doing a lot to actively ensure that we see this law come to pass. I must actually say it is one that we have been trying to see come to fruition for a long time. The proposed bill has been in draft form since the year 2002, and almost 20 years later we are still talking about having a legal framework that is guiding access to information in Zambia. I would, however, like to mention that there has been a misconception that this particular law is to moderate the engagements of the media fraternity. However, to enhance civic participation, it's important that people are well informed. You and I are sitting here today because we have knowledge about the conversation that we are engaging on. So for us as a center, what remains important, just as the 2022 national budget is speaking to taking development closer to the people, what we would like to see is information equally gets to the people. Let us go beyond government producing a particular document. How can a grandmother, for instance, in Petooke, understand how the national budget has really trickled down to benefit her community? Citizens must be informed if indeed they are to actually take an active role in economic governance, like you mentioned at the beginning of the question.
Okay, thank you. Now, Muchimba, I know that there are these issues of providing checks and balances to the government. How is JCTR working with other stakeholders to ensure that effective checks and balances are provided to the government?
JCTR, I must mention, does interact and engage with a number of stakeholders. These are both non-state actors and state actors. We do engage with government. It remains important that we continue to complement the efforts of government. But beyond that, when we are looking at the issue of checks and balances, one thing that we have done, and I would like to highlight one key stakeholder in this case, being beneficiaries in the various communities where we are working. So through empowering the communities, building their capacity, we ensure that they are able to take a front row in this development discourse. For instance, I'll give you an example of a social audit. If there's a particular project, say in a community, a school is being built, this school has maybe taken long to be completed. We want the community to actually understand how much was allocated to this particular school. Why have the works delayed? Was the contractor paid? That way they are able to demand transparency and accountability from their duty bearers. Remember, at the end of the day, the Zambian people remain the rights holders, and ideally they should be the ones in the forefront demanding for accountability.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Muchimba, for your time. I don't have to keep you here for this long. And thank you so much for staying tuned to this short video. Look out for more of the conversation right on the JCTR corner this evening on Loyola TV, channel 100 on Topstar. Goodbye.